Welcome and welcome back everyone, it's Sharonda Lynette and today we are here with another video. I've been away for a little bit because I haven't been feeling well, but now I'm back, and as you can see in the background I have a huge load of books. I'm going to be doing another book haul today, and then the next video will be a reading vlog since I wasn't feeling well before. So let's get started, shall we? So the first book I have is The Nightmare Before Christmas. I originally saw this on the Barnes & Noble's website, but it was I think it was either special edition or limited edition one that was the purple with the black detailing. But I saw this when I went to Target this week, and so I picked it up because it was also, I think, cheaper. I think this was on sale, and I read it the same night I got it. Of course, it's the classic The Nightmare Before Christmas story, and it will go right on the shelf next to the Pumpkin Queen and my Nightmare Before Christmas tarot cards. Next, what I got is, I just got a standard bookmark when I went to Barnes & Noble's, which was the first time I went to an in-person bookstore since a little bit before COVID. So I think I'll start going to in-person bookstores more and try and find some smaller bookstores in my area that I could check out besides Barnes & Noble's. But yeah, I got this so I can use on my mini books that I'm reading all at the same time. Next, I got a book that I saw on, I think it was TikTok, but I got The Wall of Winnipeg. Just let me cover this like secure. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. And basically it's about what? A personal assistant for this football star. She decides to quit, and he begs her to come back and work as his personal assistant, which she doesn't know why he's doing that since he never paid attention to her or thanked her the entire time that she was working for him. So I thought it was pretty interesting, so I decided to pick it up since I'm trying to get more into contemporary romances. So we have this one. Next is one I also got from Target, which, like The Nightmare Before Christmas, I spotted it while I was in the line for checkout, and it is Once More with Feeling by Alyssa Sussman, and this is what it looked like. So I still have no idea what this book is about. I picked it up because I enjoyed the cover and it reminded me of like early 2000s 90s stuff, so I picked it up. And basically what I'm reading is this book of, I'll just read the entire synopsis. So it says, then Katie Rose is living the dream as an American #1 pop star. Swept up in a whirlwind of sold-out concerts, screaming fans, and constant media coverage, everyone wants to know everything about her and her boyfriend, Ryan LaNeve, the hottest member of the adored boy band Crush Zone. Katie loves to perform, but hates the impossible demands of stardom. Maybe that's why she finds herself in the arms of another Crush Zone member, scandalous Cal Kirby. Quiet, serious Cal, who's always been a good friend to Katie, is suddenly Cal with the smoldering eyes and the very good hands. One unforgettable night is all it takes to blow up Katie's relationship with Ryan, her career, her whole life. Now, Kathleen Rosenberg is okay with her ordinary existence and leaving her pop star image in the past. That is, until Cal Kirby shows up with the opportunity of Kathleen's dreams. A starring role in the Broadway show he's directing and a chance to perform the way she's always wanted. The two haven't spoken since the joint destruction of their careers, and each blames the other, making their reunion a tense battle of wits and egos. Reluctantly agreeing to the musical, Kathleen keeps her guard up around Cal. But rehearsals are long, those eyes still smolder, and those hands are still very good despite everything. Kathleen can't deny the chemistry between them. Is it ever a good idea to reignite old flames, especially if you've already been burned? So reading that, this gives me second chance romance. So, and again, contemporary romance, so maybe I'll like it, maybe not, we'll see. I haven't read any books about musicians or anything like that since like middle school, so we'll see how this goes. Next we have book 1 of the Dreamland Billionaire series called The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. And so we have 2 point of views on the back, which I am going to not focusing. So I'm going to read out since it won't focus. We have Rowan's point of view. Rowan: I'm in the business of creating fairy tales, theme parks, production companies, 5-star hotels. Everything could be all mine if I renovated Dreamland. My initial idea of hiring Zara was good in theory, but then I kissed her. Things spiraled out of control once I texted her using an alias. By the time I realized where I went wrong, it was too late. People like me don't get happy endings. Not when we're destined to ruin them. That right there, I don't know. Like, self-destructive tendencies. He purposely tries to ruin the relationship. I don't know. Let's read Zara's point of view. After submitting a drunk proposal criticizing Dreamland's most expensive ride, I should have been fired. Instead, Rowan Kane offered me a dream job. The catch? I had to work for the most difficult boss I've ever met. Rowan was rude and completely off limits, but my heart didn't care. At least not until I discovered his secret. It was time to teach the billionaire that money couldn't fix everything, especially not us. So maybe they start off kind of lovey-dovey, and then they turn to enemies. She tries to get revenge for some reason, or it just starts off as an enemy to lovers. We'll see. But I was kind of interested in this because I'm interested in the theme park creation, production, all of that, so I decided to pick this one up. Next we have a series. So I picked up, while I was at Barnes & Noble's, the Thursday Murder Club books by Richard Osman. I have books 1, 2, and 3. Which the first book is the Thursday Murder Club, of course. The second book is The Man Who Died Twice. And the third book, is this the second or the third book? The Bullet That Missed, the third book. And then the fourth book comes out September 19th, I believe, and it's called The Last Devil to Die, which says it comes out September, but I looked it up and it comes out the 19th. So I already bought it on Amazon and it will be delivered the day it releases. So sometime in September, I'll be reading all of these books when the fourth one comes out. Next, we have a recommendation from one of the employees from Barnes & Noble's. She saw me looking in the general direction where this book was. I didn't know what it was. I had never seen this book before, but it's The Book Eaters by Sunny Dean. And she said it was really good. She told me that she loved it. She's read it like 5 times now, so I decided to pick it up. And basically, the story is about people who eat books. So I'll read the synopsis. Out on the Yorkshire moors lives a secret line of people for whom books are food and who retain all the book's content after eating it. To them, spy novels are a peppery snack, romance novels are sweet and delicious, eating a map can help them remember destinations, and children, when they misbehave, are forced to eat dry, musty pages from dictionaries. Devon is part of the family, an old and reclusive clan of book eaters. Her brothers grow up feasting on stories of valor and adventure, and Devon, like all other book eater women, is raised on a carefully created diet of fairy tales and cautionary stories. But real life doesn't always come with happy endings, as Devon learns when her son is born with a rare and darker kind of hunger, not for books, but for human minds. And I was like, yes, this is exactly what I'm looking for. It seems like it's going to be a thriller. I'm not sure if it's adult or YA or a middle grade. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm excited to get started with this one. Okay, so next we have a book that I first received last year. I got it last year and I was going through my contemporary romance phase, and then I read Beach Read. I didn't like it, and I gave away all of my contemporary romance books. But then I hadn't even touched this one yet. I hadn't read it, and I was on TikTok a couple weeks ago, and they were, you know how they do on TikTok where they have a couple of clips from the book and they highlight certain parts. And I went through the slides. I really liked what I was seeing, so I picked this up again. This is All the Feels by Olivia Dade. And it's a really cute cover. We have a plus size female lead. And so for this book, we have, I'll read the synopsis. Alexander Woodrow has it all. Charm, sex appeal, wealth, fame, a starring role as Cupid on TV's biggest show, Gods of the Gates. But the showrunners have wrecked his career. The showrunners have wrecked his character. He's dogged by old demons, and his post-show future remains uncertain. When all the reckless emotions explode into a bar fight, the tabloids and public agree his star is falling. Enter Lauren Clegg, the former ER therapist hired to keep him in line. Compared to her previous work, watching over handsome but impulsive Alex shouldn't be especially difficult. But the more time they spend together, the harder it gets to maintain her professional remove and keep her heart intact, especially when she discovers the reasons behind his recklessness, not to mention his Cupid fanfiction habit. When another scandal lands Alex in a major hot water and costs Lauren her job, she'll have to choose between protecting him and offering him what he really wants, her. But he's determined to keep his improbably short, impossibly stubborn, and extremely endearing minder in his life any way he can. And on a road trip up to the Californian coast together, he intends to show her exactly what a falling star will do to catch the woman he loves. Anything at all. And that was just super sweet. So I read that synopsis online after I saw the TikToks, and I decided to repurchase this again and actually read it this time instead of just giving it away based on how I felt about contemporary romance at that time. So I'm excited to read this. Okay, we have 3 more books. So here we have a book that I was talking about last video, which it finally got released, and I finally got it, Pinata by Leopoldo Gout. So like, look at this cover. It's like matte but kind of reflective as well. It's so beautiful. And this is the back. So for this book, it says it was supposed to be the perfect summer. Carmen Sanchez is back in Mexico, supervising the renovation of an ancient abbey. Her daughters Isel and Luna, too young to be left alone in New York, join her in what Carmen hopes is the chance for them to connect with their roots. Then, an accident at the worksite unearths a stash of rare, centuries-old artifacts. The disaster costs Carmen her job, cutting the family trip short. But something malevolent and unexplainable follows them home to New York, stalking the Sanchez family and heralding a coming catastrophe. And it may already be too late to escape what's been awakened. So this is kind of giving, what is that movie called? I forget what it's called. But you know the movie where their house is built on top of an Indian cemetery? That movie? It's giving that. But instead of a house being there, they broke into something, like, you know how people talk about when there are curses in the Egyptian temples that have been unearthed, the tombs. It's giving that vibe for me, so I decided to pick this up, and I'm going to be reading it soon. Next, we have Where the Darkness Blooms by Andrea Hanna, and the cover was just stunning. I've been seeing the cover all over TikTok and Instagram, and I wasn't really sure of the story, but I loved the cover, so I picked it up, and the hardcover edition. So what's the story about? It says, the town of Bishop is known for exactly 2 things: recurring windstorms and an endless field of sunflowers that stretches farther than the eye can see. And women. Missing women. So when 3 more women disappear one stormy night, no one in Bishop is surprised. The case is closed and their daughters are left in their dusty shared house with the shattered pieces of their lives. Until the wind kicks up the terrible secret as their mother's much-delayed memorial. With secrets come the lies each girl is forced to confront. After caring for other girls, Delilah would like to move on with her boyfriend, Bennett, but she can't bear his touch. Whitney has already lost both her mother and her girlfriend Eleanor, and now her only solace is an old weather vane that seems to whisper to her. Jude, Whitney's twin sister, would rather ignore it all, but the wind keeps up her secret too. The summer fling she had with Delilah's boyfriend. And more than anything, Bo wants answers, and she wants them now. Something happened to their mothers, and the townsfolk know what it is. She's sure of it. Bishop has always been a strange town, but what the girls don't know is that Bishop was founded on blood, and now it craves theirs. So to me, that sounds like, I don't think it's Black Mirror. Maybe it's Two Sentence Horror Stories, or it's something else, where basically in this one episode, there was this family who was the mom, the dad, a teenage girl, and their pet dog. They moved to this middle of nowhere house, and their family, I guess, was going to renovate this house, or they didn't have money to move. But they moved to the small town, and their neighbors all had a pet. And everyone was really weird. The mother came upon this one guy, making a sacrifice to the stone. And the ladies of the neighborhood told her, yeah, when you make a sacrifice, it has to be something that you care about. And she got the family's dog, made a sacrifice on it, tried to get a scratch off, and she didn't want a big amount like she thought she would, so she decided to make a bigger sacrifice. And it gives me those vibes, like the town was built on blood, and I guess good fortunes if you make the correct sacrifice, or it could just be some type of demon town, who knows. But this intrigued me, so I picked this one up. And lastly, we have another book I talked about last video, which is She is a Haunting, which I'm not gonna try and pronounce the author's name because I'm going to butcher it. But this is a book. She finally came, and the cover is lovely. So for this, it says, "This house eats and is eaten." When Jade Nguyen arrives in Vietnam to visit her estranged father, she has one goal: survive 5 weeks pretending to be a happy family in the French colonial house Ba is restoring. She's always lied to fit in, so if she's straight enough, Vietnamese enough, American enough, she can get out of the college money he promised. She can get out with the college money he promised. Excuse me. But the house has other plans. Night after night, Jade wakes up paralyzed. The walls exude a thrumming sound while bugs leave their legs and feelers in places that they don't belong. She finds curious traces of her ancestors in the garden they once tended. And at night, Jade can't ignore the ghost of the beautiful bride who leaves cryptic warnings, "Don't eat." Neither Ba nor her sweet sister, Lily, believe anything strange is happening. With help from a delinquent girl, Jade tries to expose the house's rotten appetite. A home, after all, is only as powerful as those who breathe new life into its bones. And this one is determined never to be abandoned again. So for me, this is giving like regular horror thriller, but also maybe cultural thriller, like things that, especially for me, I won't know about Vietnamese culture, and maybe that's how the bride in the house died, but we'll see. This one was intriguing to me, especially since it's a different culture, so I will be reading it and finding out. And lastly, I don't have the book with me right now. It is downstairs, but I got the book Constantine, which is a graphic novel. It's also by Kami Garcia, like the Teen Titans series, which I hauled the last video. Not hauled, but talked about. I think it was my first video that I talked about it. But she also wrote the Teen Titans series, so I got that one. I don't know much about Constantine except for that he's a magician, and it's the same, I'm guessing it's the same DC universe as the Teen Titans, unless it's the multiverse, but we'll see as I get into reading it, which will be, oddly enough, next video. So that's it for this video. That's all the books that I got while I was not feeling well. And I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.